Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 189. Miss Click is back.
Hello.
Good to have you back, Miss Click. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
How was everything over the past few weeks?
Great. You know, moving. It's a whole fun process.
Yes, that's always fun. That's what I like to do on my days off. Just move. That's all.
Yeah, just boxes.
Just move.
Clothing.
Yeah, just pack everything up. Don't take it anywhere. Then just unpack it. Yep.
Tear down the entire.
Always jacking my style. Seriously, every time, Click. Every
What?
single time.
What did I do this time?
What you're wearing? It's like this. Like wearing gray.
It's a vibe, dude. It's a vibe. Come on, man.
That's like the conspiracy in the chat sometimes. Click and OJ are wearing
we're
the same
matching.
thing. Like, yeah, we match on purpose.
Freaking chat, dude.
OJ, how's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Some ambassador's clothes.
Ah.
Jesus.
We set up that's what we talk about in the thread. What to fucking wear? Excuse my French.
OJ rolling in with the 55-inch CX LG CX now.
Oh yeah, dude, it's It's
Isn't it good,
like
dude? That jump to the
game changer.
OLED, that jump to
Oh, yeah.
OLED is a big deal, man.
It
Sean,
is
you got to get on that.
It's a huge deal. Like I think that if you have which we'll talk about the next gen systems and all that, but if you have them, having a TV, an OLED TV, or having a high quality TV that can do HDR, that can do all that stuff is like essential. It's like one of the essential things. Like you don't need it, but damn, it makes everything way better.
What about QLED? Can I do a QLED?
I mean, you could. I think OLED is like, that's it, man. Go for OLED. Get that LG CX and call it a day.
Yeah, OLED's top. And then, like, you know, like the Sony 900X is pretty good, so you can roll with that as well.
Jesus, these prices!
Yeah, but the
I was waiting for
idea,
that.
with LG CX, it's HDMI 2.1, so you get it, and then you're not going to upgrade again the rest of the generation. Like you'll literally have this TV the rest of the generation, 6-7 years or whatever.
And
My TCL has 2.1 HDMI on it, just fine.
2.1 in air quotes or something.
It's the air. It's like the fake HDR. You know what I'm saying? Like when my Samsung get an HDR, and then whenever I try to hook up HDR, it's like this TV does not support HDR. I'm like,
telling you,
it says HDR
No,
on the
I do
box.
no. I do HDR on my TCL all the time with both PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
I'm telling you,
You have to put it in the first port. Only the first port is HDMI 2.1.
I'm telling you, Sean, because you play a lot of games and like you don't have the lights on like full blast or anything in your house when you're playing games, do you? Like you have them like off.
Dude, I have one lamp in my living room. It's like a cave in my house.
It sounds like the OLED's perfect for you then, because it's good in low light. Everything looks really nice on it.
Here's the thing, Sean. The OLEDs for next year, so don't worry about it this year, but next year the Vizio OLEDs are going to be really good prices. So that's the move, is to wait till next year. Vizio got into the OLED game. Theirs are going to be cheaper than like LG.
But that CX is G-Sync, HDMI 2.1, 4K 120. It's got it all, man.
I suggest. I got the CX. I suggest
the 55 inch.
Yeah, the 55 CX. I suggest that one. That one, the prices are dropping on that. It's about $1,300. I didn't spend that much on it, but I got a friend that works at an Amazon distribution center. So, but
Oh, see, you got the inside deal.
So you fell off the truck
I got a couple
one.
$100 off, but that's different. But I mean, like, I still would have bought it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still.
No,
I
don't know which model my TCL is, but because we had a discussion about this like
Earlier.
2 months ago, and like because I didn't have a 2.1 HDMI cable, and then someone told me like, no, your TV does have it. Just check the slots, and it's only the first slot that has 2.1 on it, but it's legit 2.1 because
I'm telling you, the PS5 though on an OLED.
Well, you know what I need to do? I need to be like these fucking podcasters who get like 10 listens a year and get all these free TVs and shit. I need to do that. I'd be like, where's mine? Where's mine?
I'm gonna finally get a gaming chair. I haven't shown y'all, but I've been actually for the last month. I've been sitting in
got
this
an
metal
upgrade.
chair.
Did you get a new one?
Or wait, did the Bungie one just break and that's why you got the metal?
Bungie one broke. Yes, the Bungie one. Well, it started cutting me a little bit.
Dude, give me your PO box. I'm gonna find a Bungie DX Racer chair or something to send you.
Oh man. God, no. Well, those companies keep hitting me up and they're like, we know you're Dreamcast guy from the SpawnCast. We'd love to send you a chair. So I'm finally going to let them do it.
Okay.
Aw.
Okay. There we go. Hey, someone send Max a chair. Anyone.
Anybody.
I got a
his house.
contact I can hook you up with.
Sean, good to have you back.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Good to have you back on the podcast. Awesome. And Nate. Is Nate there?
Yes.
Nate, did you get your Series X yet?
I don't have any next gen systems.
Okay, good. You'll fit right in with the discussion tonight.
Yes.
Okay, Nate, what's the plan for next gen? What's the word here? You getting Series X, getting a PS5? What's happening?
I will have a Series X early next week, a PlayStation 5. I'm waiting for the PlayStation Direct store to go up because apparently there's a way to skip the line. And I'm just going to take that exploit, and next time they have stock, I'm just going to skip the line, and I guess I'll order one.
You're a line skipper now?
The line on that website doesn't make any fucking sense. It could be like, it just went up, and you can go and be like a 2-hour wait. And it never advances. You just sit there for 2 hours and it'll be like, oh, we just sold out. So people found out you can just bypass the entire thing. So you know what? If everyone else is cheating the system,
we're going to talk about the PS5 situation because there was a whole thing with launch on that one. So we're gonna come back to that, Nate, because that PlayStation Direct was interesting how they handled all of that. And then Max.
Yes, hello. It is PlayStation 5 week, everybody. Also, I bought an Xbox.
You bought an Xbox?
So I had the Xbox Series X, which I played for one day, and I put. And here's my delicious baby boy. I've called him Samuel. He's my PlayStation 5 right here.
Samuel.
Good to have you here, Max, Dreamcast guy. Okay, so let's you know what? We're just gonna start with, because everything we've been playing is basically part of the topics with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox
that is not
Series.
true.
Okay, Nate, what have you been
Not
playing?
true.
Okay, Nate,
I have
tell
been
us.
playing a game that I bought the PC version of many years ago because the game looked hilarious, and now I am replaying it again on my Switch. It is the Serious Sam Collection.
Oh, that does
Nobody
look
here
good.
is playing that right now, except
I
for
am
me.
not.
Comes
I
out
am not
next
playing
week. Has 3 Serious Sam games plus DLC. Has the screaming guy who has no head, and you blow him up. Then your character laughs at him and makes fun of him.
How
And
I think the
How-
last
how much-
Serious Sam I played was like 5 years ago or something. Or like
how
10
much
years
is how
ago.
much is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Good.
Maybe $20, might be higher. I'm not sure. It has Serious Sam 1, Serious Sam 2, has the DLC for 2, then Serious Sam 3 plus that DLC. It's a lot of Serious Sam. This is serious shit.
What about
How do
you
they play?
They have 2 modes. There's graphics mode and performance mode.
I like
Oh,
that.
I was only playing in handheld mode with the graphics mode on, and there was a little jitters here and there, a little slowdown. I put performance mode on, it ran better. Serious Sam 3 has some jank to it, but it wasn't too bad. I have to play it docked to see if it goes away. But,
Okay.
you know, they're a nonsensical game where you shoot a lot of aliens with big-ass guns.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun shit.
Good enough.
And
We're actually gone.
what is that, Sean?
No, I was gonna say I forgot about a Switch game that came out this week. Need for Speed.
Yeah, that dropped on the 13th yesterday.
Yeah, I saw someone make a video on it in my sub feed, Chit Chat Gaming, and I was like, shit, thanks for reminding me. I just bought it. It won't come till Monday though.
I was saying, did you get it physically? Yeah, I saw it at
Yeah, I
Walmart.
got
It was like $33 at Walmart.
Who makes that game? EA?
Yeah. Hey, I thought it was supposed to come out like a month after. They moved that date up?
No, it was a week after the whole time.
Okay.
But it was
Okay.
stupid because the game was done.
Yeah, somebody downloaded on the eShop and they were
Dude,
like,
I had
like
a
month
dude
ago.
in my Twitter DMs sending me like videos of him playing it like 3 weeks ago. He was like, yeah, hey, you should pick it up when it comes out. I was like, all right, thanks.
Weird. Yeah, I did see it there though, and I couldn't quite see the bottom of it. I don't know if it required internet, but I think it's all in the cartridge. So at least there's that, I guess. It doesn't need a download. I don't know. That's one worth checking out, I guess.
I did play one other game.
Uh-huh.
One other game, and it makes Demon Souls look like Child's Play.
What's it called?
And I played it because it is being delisted from the internet soon, and it is the Japanese Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby. If you can beat that game, you are the greatest gamer of all time. But you can't upgrade your skills.
Is
You
this
just have to
on?
go through
Is this
it
on
pure and
PC?
simple. It's a Flash game, and you will look at Eeyore and wish death upon him.
Why did
then you'll
you?
get the-
How did you find your way to this game? First of all,
It's kind of an internet legend from many years ago where there was
never
a
heard of
thread
it.
on a forum where they were like, oh,
Tiny
this is
legend.
hard ass game. And a person was playing it. They're like, well, maybe you just suck compared to the age audience. And then the person got their ass kicked by the game. And they're like, you know what? Why is he playing baseball anyway? He's a fucking bear. And you know what? Everyone on SpawnCast should play it right now because I don't think anyone could even get to Kanga and Rue.
I'm good.
I
man.
believe you. I believe you.
It's very difficult.
Kangaroo. Oh my god.
Did you just get that after years of Winnie the Pooh existing? Of Kanga and Rue?
She did.
And MVG is not here to gloat about it. Man.
Her mind has just been blown.
Oh my
like,
god, I can't believe it. I'm
Oh.
in BG and I'm stunned by this moment.
I'm not stunned. She's from Florida, dude. Like, it's
True.
She's just chalking up the Florida. Just check the Florida box.
Florida,
It's like,
yeah, Florida.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay, so-
Kangaroo.
All right, so we talked to Evan. We're going to do some of the Discord questions at the end, right? How many do we have?
A good bit. We're gonna see if we can get through them naturally through the course of this show, rather than have to just break up the pace and keep asking. So we'll do that later.
Okay, very good. So I guess we'll just go right to the main event from this week with the PS5 and the Series X. Those launched. It was okay. So they both look like they were a pain to get, but I think the PS5 launch was like more mayhem than the Series X launch and the Series S. I don't know. Did everyone just pre-order it and then just show up at a store and pick it up, or just wait for it to show up on the doorstep? Was that the idea?
I picked mine up in store, and even picking it up in store, what was weird is the day when I went and picked it up Thursday morning, there was actually a crowd of people who were trying to buy it, and the employees kept having to say, we have absolutely no stock. Even if we had a stock, we wouldn't be allowed to sell it. Apparently Sony was telling people pre-order only for the first time period. So I literally had to walk through a group of people to pick up my pre-order and be like, all right, nobody mugged me, I'm just gonna walk out.
Yeah, that was it was weird to see people so concerned when they were walking out with a game console, but it was like that with the PS3. I remember, because that was like a $600 system in 2006. People were getting escorts out to the parking lot at the time. What were you saying, OJ?
I was saying that it was easy for me to pick up at least the pickup option at Best Buy worked really well. I just went there, picked it up, and that was that. And you can even schedule a time if you wanted to, but I never did that. So that was easy, and it was no problem, and I didn't feel like I would. It was during the day though; it wasn't nighttime, so everything was good. In terms of the PlayStation, I had both of those delivered to me, so I was literally waiting by my door, just waiting for it, because I didn't want to get that stolen at all. That was the thing. For me, I was waiting, because I had my PS5 and I had my wife's PS5. Stupid Target, their app is trash. Their app is horrible. Their tracking is horrible. They don't even update it. They said it's in transit. It's in transit. It was delivered, and I looked at the app, and it was still saying that it was in transit. I'm like, dude, this is just garbage. So I was just literally almost waiting by the door for each one of them. And the guy from Amazon didn't even ring the doorbell.
What?
No,
they showed up. They showed up in brown boxes, though, right? They weren't just the system themselves out. Okay, good.
Yeah, they both showed up in brown boxes. The box that the Amazon one came in, it was a reused box, which is fine. The Target box was a lot nicer, but yeah, I just had to make sure. I mean, I got a really good security system, and I would have been able to see anybody that came in. I was having alerts go to my phone, anybody that steps in my driveway. But still, I didn't want to have to deal with it, because I did promise my wife that I'd get her a PS5. So, and I just wanted to make sure that we both got ours and everything. So, but that was kind of stressful, but I got both of them, so it was good.
Dude, this was the weirdest launch, because no one could go to a store and just wait in line. Everyone had to try to order online and then hope they could do in-store pickup.
It's honestly the main reason scalpers are as prevalent and insane as they are right now, is because there's no other option.
Yeah, PS5's $1,500 on eBay right now.
It's not even scalpers though, but bot technology, the technology from last gen in terms of to this gen is crazy.
Well, the thing is that technology was there. It just wasn't as useful to use, because if you bought it from the Best Buy online website, they still had stores with the boxes that you had to go into and get anyway. So it didn't matter, because you weren't going to get as much as a scalper. But now you will get a lot.
You had to prove you wanted it back in the day, because you had to stand in line for 24 hours.
I did the midnight launch for the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, and the PlayStation 4. I did the midnight launch for all of those. And I remember getting out there 3 hours before. For the Xbox 360 launch, we actually brought a TV out and plugged it into a car battery converter thing. We're playing Halo 1 in the parking lot waiting for the 360.
I remember we did it for the Wii and the PS3, because I think those came out on the same day or right around that same day.
Right, yeah, same.
Because people were waiting in the line at the same time for both. I remember that around then, and because it was in Walmart, and eventually they gave everyone tickets 5 hours before, but people were still not leaving their spot in line because of how hard it was to get the Wii at the time, trying to figure it out.
Dude, GameStop was crazy, because we had to get there early, and it was. I remember I got it from the mall, and they told us beforehand, they're like, hey, we're only gonna have 12 units of the Wii at the GameStop that I went to. I was like, damn. So I had to get there just to pre-order it first and foremost. To pre-order it, I was there at 3 a.m. I was there so early just so I can get it, because I really wanted one, when it first came out. So yeah, that's what you had to do back then. But now it's just obviously online.
My camera keeps freezing.
Okay, real topic. We're not talking about pre-orders. Everybody, what did y'all think about Miles Morales? I did a full master file now. I've done every side quest. I got every collectible. I beat the main game. Everybody talk about Miles Morales. I watched your video, RGT, and I loved it, because I could tell it was really scripted, and I could see how impressed you were by it. But I don't know. I'm so in love with that game still.
I thought it was fantastic, and I'm still, even though I've already beaten the story mode, I'm still going back and doing all of the side missions and stuff. A lot of people seem to be, I meant to say this in my video, but I didn't. A lot of people seem to be kind of hung up on the story length of the game. And I get that, but it's kind of interesting because last night I was watching 8-Bit Eric play the original Spider-Man on his PlayStation 5. And when you watch someone play that game, you sort of realize something. There's a lot of padding in that game. You know, like the Mary Jane stuff, like you can do without that. You could just do that over
the story
a
itself
conversation.
is very short.
The whole, the radio frequency thing, which was like really difficult for me. Like that's sort of a padding thing. I feel like Miles Morales, it's just bam, it's just bam, action, bam, bam, bam. Okay, do this, bam. There's a one period of downtime where he's like chilling with his family, but that helps bring in the backstory of the character because let's be realistic. To most people, when you think of Spider-Man, you probably think of Peter Parker. At least, I'm not a huge Spider-Man or comic book guy or anything like that. So I would always think of Peter Parker. I didn't know shit about Miles Morales until this game. Yeah, like this was all new information. I knew he existed. I knew he was a Spider-Man, character, but I didn't know anything about him as a person. And I just thought the game's story was brilliant because when you look at I'm probably gonna get a bad sound clip out of this, but you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna go for it. When you look at Spider-Man, all right, what was the first Spider-Man comic? It was like 1960 something, early 60s, right? The Peter Parker character was a character that resembled someone who lived in New York at that time, but the Peter Parker character is almost kind of a bit like too traditional, like just standard white dude, whereas the Miles Morales character is actually indicative more so of a character that would be living in New York City, for the past 20-30 years. If you've ever been to New York City, there's people of all age, races, and creeds all around you the second you step out of somewhere. So I actually like that about the character because it feels more realistic than Peter Parker living in New York City does to me.
Yeah, they brought in kind of the young mindset too, because you have like the app that people are like sending in like requests on and all of this, and your one friend is all about social media, and that wouldn't have made sense back then at the time, right?
I got a question for RGT. So let me ask you a question, RGT. Did you have the swagger of a black team?
I love that quote.
Did it give you goosebumps? Let me just ask you a question.
Realistically, I feel like I had that in high school, so it wasn't necessarily a new experience for me, but it was a familiar experience for me.
It was like going back home.
You felt like Malibu's Most Wanted in high school. That's what.
No, because I was actually like I had a brain. Like Malibu's Most Wanted, like. He was trying to fit in. It was just my area and my circumstances of the people I rolled with. It was
I'm just messing with you. Because of that picture that you posted. Remember that picture? And I put that.
I know.
Well, I feel like you're so right, RGT, and I like that you brought that up because like how Harlem is such a big character in that game. Like I like how you're proving yourself to Harlem. Like they've all been being protected by Spider-Man for years. Like everybody knows Spider-Man, everybody accepts Spider-Man. So all of a sudden this kid shows up like, hey, I have powers too. And they're like, okay, cool, you're Harlem Spider-Man. That's cool too, I guess. Like learning the respect of the people, man, it's so cool. And just all the moments where you get to just talk to people on the street, the person who puts in a request just to get a selfie with you and stuff, and helping that deaf girl. I don't know.
They did a good job. They did a good job making Miles seem like a kid who just got powers too. All of a sudden,
literally,
like the way he's acting and all of this, he acts like a guy, like a kid in high school, jumping around, laughing, and like doing tricks and all these things. And you could tell they still throw in those stumbles when he tries to land on a beam and he just almost falls off kind of things. So
I was gonna say, I love that animation.
They still play into the idea of him still being kind of new to the idea of being Spider-Man.
If you have load screens turned on, because like if you're playing on a PS5, for those who have not tried it yet, fast traveling is very instantaneous. But if you choose to have the load screens on while you're in the train, he'll do different stuff. And my favorite one is he looks at everybody and everyone's like mildly entertained, like, "Oh, there's the new Spider-Man," and he does a backflip. It goes like this, and everyone's like, "Okay," like does it's like to him it's the coolest thing, and everyone else is like, "Yeah, Spider-Man's doing flips for years, bud."
The PS5 on the PS5, it is. Pretty impressive how fast you can get into the game from the menu. From the your PlayStation 5 UI, going from that into Miles Morales is super fast. Especially if you just kind of left it kind of in the background and you went into rest mode or something. You turn it on.
I can do that.
2
while
seconds.
We're sitting here. Yeah, I just realized I can do it while we're doing.
It's like 2 seconds if you still had it in the background, after you had it in rest mode. It is very fast. So yes, it is good to see that at least.
Also,
like, pick 'em and play.
I want to say one thing. If you're sitting there watching videos of Miles Morales on YouTube, you get a good idea of the game. But a lot of people I've been seeing people say, "Oh, it looks just like Spider-Man on the PS4 did." It doesn't. It doesn't. There's a lot more going on. There's some absolutely insanely gorgeous lighting and reflections in the game that are just absolutely stunning. Like to play the game and experience it in your house on your television is a very different experience than you see on YouTube. And I noticed something that a lot of people don't seem to pick up on, but the population density is a lot deeper in Miles Morales than it is on
I was thinking that exact thing. Yep.
Because once again, I was watching Eric play Spider-Man on his PS5 last night, the original game, and I'm looking like, where the hell are all the people on the ground? And I actually looked at someone playing Miles Morales on the PlayStation 4. I watched some gameplay of it, and it was the same thing. It was very limited in the amount of people that were, congregating around in certain areas. Whereas, on this, it's just like it's crazy. It's like actual New York.
I'm literally standing here right now. There's 75 people on the sidewalk right here in front of me. Like, it's crazy.
The best part is though it has a 60 frames per second mode.
You know what's funny? I played the high fidelity mode, and I was like, I want my ray tracing.
Turn on that frame rate mode once to see what you think. It is really smooth.
Oh god.
And it is doing a lot. Like
I want the ray. Everyone, no, fuck off. Everyone was like, ray tracing's the biggest thing in video games.
Who said that? Not me.
Everyone.
No.
Evan.
Some damn lights.
Evan.
What?
Shiny reflections over 60 frames? No, bro. I didn't say that.
I personally don't think in a game like Spider-Man, like with how fast it is and how much reaction timing can go into those fights, for me, I'm like, yeah, give me the frame rate. And the game still looks like really good in 60 frame mode. Just doesn't have the the ray tracing and all that stuff. I just think really go, dude, turn it on. I'm telling you, the overall fluidness of it, I think, just outweighs the idea of ray tracing. For
does it actually speed up the feel of the combat? Because I've watched people play it, and the combat does still look like it's kind of slowed down to match the chaos of it, but having Spider-Man's reflexes. So like, you kind of see everything a little slower. Like the combat just feels like less movement, I guess.
They have moments where they give you, like, it depends, because you can upgrade things so that your window of like perfect dodge, for example, is extended. And I feel like that kind of goes into it where it's kind of slows down a little bit for you to help you out, but it all depends on the difficulty. Like I decided to just put it on the hardest difficulty for this because I thought Spider-Man on the PS4 was too easy when I played through it. So I was like, let me just try to put this on the hardest mode at the time. And it doesn't seem as slow as I remember it being on the PS4 for the original one, but
the speed is good. That was my one gripe. I did a review of it and I loved everything about it, but my one gripe is still that I feel like Spider-Man is too strong, especially like Miles Morales is objectively even stronger than Peter Parker. Yes. He can freaking shoot lightning everywhere and turn invisible. Like the stealth missions are a joke. I think that they should have done more to, like, I don't know.
It is really funny. It's like, all right, now we got to stealth around. He's like, oh, I can just turn invisible. It's like, well, all right, okay, I guess.
I will say though, as someone who hates stealth, and like
I've watched you hate stealth multiple times today. Yeah,
yeah.
Stealth
like,
is a nice guy. Come on,
all the big dudes with like just like negating your powers and like the shields and everything. No, it's a lot of fun. It is a good challenge, but I think if you do the stealth, like if you just like stealth, it is going to be like substantially easier if you can just pick them off one by one.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, it's well, actually, Click, you were playing on the PS4 right now, right?
I am playing on PS4 right now.
What do you think about on the PS4?
I mean, it runs. It looks great. Like I don't have any complaints about it. I really like all the new power ups and stuff like that you can have with him. It's just really fun, and it's just man, just really satisfying. Like going in between like the fast punching and sliding between their legs and everything, and then it goes into like the perfect dodge, slow down. But then also when you do a finisher move, it just slows down and like the animation goes. And now you also have the venom attack. So like you punch someone, or when you like unlock the dash or the jump. It's just it's a fantastic game, dude. It's so much fun. And a lot of people have been debating. I saw people in chat like, should I buy for PS4? Honestly, if you're not planning on getting a PS5 for a while, pick it up now. It's gonna be fun, and especially if you want to like complete it, like go for it.
Is there a performance mode on PS4?
I actually did not look into it. I haven't really ran into any issues though. I think I did have one bug today. I like died while falling. Like I got hit and my body flew off a building and it just like sat there. So I had to like restart the game. But that's the only issue I've really had.
I fell through the world once. I put it on Twitter. I
saw that.
And I tried to quick grab a ledge and I shot through the ground and I was underneath the city as I was swinging under the street.
It was pretty.
Like, yeah, it looks cool until I eventually dive bombed to death.
The only glitch I had was in that part where you're going to your mother's little event
campaign?
that she's having. Yeah, the campaign meeting. I walked up to Gloria and I tried to talk to her because it said I could talk to her, and it just sat there and it never initiated the sequence. And I was like, "Can I get out of this?" And I couldn't.
Yeah, I think there also was an audio bug too. Like when you meet like a character, you know, like a couple hours in, it was an audio bug. So like he just wasn't like his voice just wasn't loading in. So of course I had to narrate it.
I think Miles Morales is worth the pickup. Yes.
No question.
Yep. So we played Miles Morales. What's everyone think about the PS5 in general though now?
I'm extremely impressed.
Okay.
You know what? I think the biggest takeaway that I have is that Microsoft played it very safe and Sony kind of didn't.
I think we can go by even just the console design and say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which for the record, I think the PlayStation 5 is ugly as shit. Wait till
Yeah, I like to look
Samuel.
at the Xbox better.
He's right here. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
I have a video coming out tomorrow where I rag pretty hard on the design.
Oh, that'll be fun. All right. I'm there for that.
You know, I personally, you know, I got both systems too, and I got a video I'll be doing like where I kind of summarize everything. I'll be up tomorrow. I think it should be done if I can get it done, but it should be up soon. Just my thoughts on it. But I think the most impressive thing is like the speed of the system. It's just super fast when getting in and getting out of stuff. PlayStation, and to your point, Sean, it creates a more unique and organic experience. It actually feels like it's different. Xbox went with the same UI, right? They went with the same everything. So it didn't feel like, and I know it might be semantics or whatever, but it didn't feel like a new experience. Yes, the graphics are better. Yes, there's the quick resume. There are some great things, but the uniqueness of the PS5, like the Astro's Playroom, and being able like the controller and having like the advanced HD rumble with it's like even better HD rumble with haptic feedback and the triggers and all that stuff. They kind of even like took it a little bit further. Like all that stuff creates a really unique experience. The UI is the same, but they changed up. Like you can tell that it's not the exact same. The PSN store being integrated, like everything just feels so much like they really said we're gonna make something new. Whereas like, you know, Microsoft kind of just said, hey, we're just gonna use like if it's not broke, which is fine. Xbox, like I said, is still great, but I do think that like PlayStation, the system definitely played it a little bit more, you know.
I will say if it wasn't for that, like that DualSense controller is super impressive. Like if it wasn't for that controller, I would say that this system, like if we just got this system and they had a regular controller like a DualShock 5 or something, I would be like, you know, this is still pretty cool, but it still doesn't really feel like this big next gen jump. And I think the controller just like puts it over the edge for that, like just puts it over the top. Cause like I feel like I could talk for an entire video just about that DualSense controller with everything they're doing in it.
I almost feel, and people probably slam me for this, but I almost feel like this is like the real 8th gen, what they were promising, what it would be, you know, like with frame rates and with everything, because like that's what they were saying beforehand. Yes, we have resolutions, but they were always like, oh yeah, everybody said 60 frames per second across the board, right? It's always going to be 60. It's always going to be this, and it didn't turn out anything like that, right? They always talked about how in-depth and detailed and worlds were going to be, and a lot of games weren't like that. It almost felt like they broke so many promises with the 8th gen, but this time, like, you're actually seeing all the population, like you talked about in Spider-Man. You're seeing 60 frames across the board for many games. If it's not native, like, they have performance modes, right? So that's the cool thing, that I think that this is almost like, it's like, okay, this is kind of like what they promised that we were going to get in 2013, right? Like, and now we actually got that with all the performance and the really cool stuff, you know, the fast loading times and like everything like that. So, I mean, I think that's what I like about, you know, this gen.
So,
both of this.
Did everyone play Astro's Playroom?
I did. I played a ton of it. Yeah.
So that, I mean, it shows off the DualSense really, really well, but like I was trying to figure out what everyone's talking about, like the advanced haptic feedback, and it's really good. It's probably the best haptic feedback we've had so far, and I'm sure Nintendo will probably continue to work on theirs to their next gen system too. But like to have the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, and that's the biggest thing is having that speaker work alongside of both of them. I think is really like the DualSense is just a combination of all these really cool ideas thrown into one, and Astro's Playroom just uses all of it at once. Like in the kind of the beginning, it's in GPU Jungle, I think, where you're the monkey who's climbing up the side, and they have it so that you have to press down the adaptive trigger and it like locks in the middle, so it feels like you're grabbing onto the thing, and then the speaker plays a noise when you grab it. And then you got to also use the gyro at the same time. There is so much stuff going on there, and it actually feels really cool climbing up the side of the wall there. And then you grab onto the part that's like a little zipper that flings you upwards, and the adaptive trigger keeps smacking against like your fingers as you're trying to hold on to it. There's a lot there going on.
So question, are there a lot of moving parts for the haptic like feedback triggers and stuff to where like they can break easily?
Yeah, kind of. Each one has its own motor, and basically there's a piece of plastic inside with several gears that works to move this lever back and forth to create resistance, or even like rumble in there to hit where you're holding down.
So would it be possible, like if you put too much pressure on it, you could easily break it?
Probably. I feel like it could. I think it could. When I checked it out and opened it up, I was a concern I had because it's all plastic gears. But I mean, so far it feels pretty good. And like even like in Spider-Man, when you go to web swing, at the bottom of it, you press down and you can tell that they're up a little bit because there is some resistance at the bottom when you go to throw your web. So yeah, they're doing a lot of things. And what's really fun is it looked like in Call of Duty, I get on the Xbox. Now I'm thinking like I should have got on the PlayStation just because of the adaptive triggers. They have it so that if you're shooting like a gun, the trigger looks like will keep getting hit by that piece of plastic in there and make it, you actually feel recoil from the gun they're shooting. That's like cool. There is a lot.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that shit online.
You can turn it off though. You can turn it off. It's in like the settings for Call of Duty has that apparently, and then you have like the universal settings in the PlayStation. You can turn it off, but like to go through campaign like that, that'd be pretty cool. Like to have it. So
campaign.
I want to see I want to see a montage of streamers raging out when the controllers jam. Like, bro, I'm pulling the trigger, bro.
Like the DualSense, I think is the big like. Visuals are getting better, sure, but I think it's getting harder to sell a system now on just visuals. Like, because they already looked good on the PlayStation 4, and then the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and now it's like they look more 4K, I guess. So it's I like the DualSense is really cool though. I hope these features don't just get dropped by next year by third parties.
Well, so I have a weird feeling. So I was playing Demon Souls. I've played a ton of Demon Souls now. I love it. And while I was playing it the last night, I was walking through this like castle at one point, and lightning came down and struck a tree that blew up, and it looked super gorgeous. And it kind of made me think that this might be the last console generation, because I feel like it feels like we're getting so close to photorealism, and our controllers are finally really, really good. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't imagine what's going to go past this.
The only thing I can think of is if either VR takes off heavily or 8K takes off.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like those are the two big things that would really push it along for any real reason to go to another generation.
They're
after this,
already
like
setting us up for that though. Look at the boxes. It says up to 8K, so that's already the next thing.
I feel like they could probably just do a pro model of this, or just iterations, as like Phil Spencer's mentioned before, where they're like, we could do it. We don't really care about generations. We'll just do iterations, and they'll all play the same games.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of like what they did with the Xbox One to the Xbox Series X, and just keep on adding your series or whatever. But that's what they're definitely going to do. But I mean, Sony's going to put out some box that, because there's going to be 8K. I mean, they're going to want to try to integrate VR. I would even think like AR implemented into the controller somehow, to where like you can actually see something like a hologram or issue thing that like kind of pops up, something like that. I mean, like there's all sorts of possibilities of what they can do, going forward.
Yeah, but I feel like they're just going to think less about how can we make this game look better, or versus how can we make this game, I guess, more immersive.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point I didn't consider. Is they're not going to care about making things look better. They're going to worry about how they can be different and how it can be better.
That, like I said, that DualSense is a game changer for some of these games. So I do like it quite a bit.
I like the feel of it too. It's for big boy hands.
It's a bigger controller. Yes, it works much better for me because that DualShock 4. I struggle with that DualShock 4, so I like the DualSense.
It's tiny. The DualShock 4. I mean, well, it's not tiny, but it's like
it's pretty small. It's on the smaller side of the spectrum for a lot.
It's smaller, and like if you have big hands, it's not good. My fingers hit the two analog. They touch each other when I use the analog sticks because my hands are too big. So.
Yeah, well, they got to get as long as they start doing more DualSense controllers. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, OJ, because you get to like where it's
you're whereas the PS5 they do, but it's not as hard to do that.
Yep.
Clicks like my hands are
I got fine. Baby hands.
The problem I have though is the Xbox is the one with the offset sticks. So when these shooters come out, I'm like, I want to get on the Xbox because it's offset sticks, and it's just like I know PlayStation's always done like the the sticks right next to each other, but I you know what, I wouldn't mind if they decided to do an offset stick variation as well. That would be cool.
Did you hear what I know we're on the next gen topic? Did you hear what the Rocket League developers said about the 4K 120 and why the PlayStation 5 isn't doing it compared to Xbox? They said that with Xbox to do 4K 120 for like last gen games, it's just like a small little patch. It takes almost no work.
It's DX versus whatever.
Yeah, with PlayStation, it's like they've got to actually go and like do a lot of work.
I could see that. Microsoft's, I mean, they've worked so hard on their backwards compatibility stuff, and that's probably why we see the load times so similar on these backwards compatible titles between the two. It's just because it's just software side is just set up better for Microsoft. So that would make a lot of sense actually. What the Rocket League developers are saying there. So Nate, what do you think about what you've seen with the PS5 so far? I know it's kind of tough because you don't have a PS5 yet and you don't have an Xbox yet.
I mean, the DualSense.
It ain't no Winnie the Pooh.
It ain't no Winnie the Pooh. That is a very difficult game, and nobody's playing it right now, despite me sharing a link.
So we have a private chat, and he dropped it in there like we're gonna do something. Like, what is it? What am I supposed to do?
You should play it.
I'm not clicking that.
I'm not objector on that one.
You should get up to Kanga and Roo and be like, "Fuck these kangaroos."
It is a purely Japanese link with a smiling Winnie the Pooh wearing a bow. I'm not clicking this.
It's a home run derby. It's for kids.
/
It was just
miner.
Programmed by an evil person. But the DualSense sounds intriguing. It's something I want to get my hands on, feel the haptics, test out those triggers, see if they really do innovate with the game design. It is still a concern that it's just going to be a first year type of feature and it's going to be forgotten because it's not standard across the board. So third parties have very little incentive to actually implement this feature. But maybe like Call of Duty, what you're seeing there, if they see that they're selling better on PlayStation 5, it might give them that incentive.
Yes.
Xbox, I think the problem with Xbox is every game people are going to talk about right now, I can play on my Xbox One right now. Mm-hmm. There is no exclusive next-gen game for the platform. At least PlayStation 5 has Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls, and that's it.
Godfall.
Yeah, no one's going to acknowledge Godfall.
It's real.
Hey, yeah, Max bought it, all right?
It's a glorified tech demo.
It is. But let me tell you, buddy, it's a great looking tech
demo. But you know that first year set up pretty strong for the PS5 coming up. I mean, Ratchet is probably up next.
They are.
Horizon.
There is still some concern.
Yeah.
There is still some concern with Sony's first year, though.
Oh, okay. Final Fantasy not coming out?
I'm not concerned about like Final Fantasy. I'm concerned with Horizon and what Horizon means, because you did have Sony come out this week and say we're going to give PlayStation 4 3 years worth of support, and this is a company that said we believe in generations.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving 3 years of support to the PlayStation 4 system that you kind of brushed off seemingly in marketing statements in 2020 to all of a sudden we find out that Horizon, which will come out in the second half of 2021, still has the PlayStation 4 version. Mm-hmm. So right now, could you really believe them that God of War is not coming to PlayStation 4?
That's the one I'm concerned about. I think that one will be a PS4 game as well. I'm starting to think it is.
I don't
really.
I want that to kind of start the exclusive, like actual.
That'd
PS5.
be nice. That'd be nice. Yeah.
I want a reason to buy a PS5.
They kind of
Ratchet and Clank
a little bit though. I mean, to offset costs.
Final Fantasy.
To offset costs though, I mean, because like these games are really expensive. I mean, they're $70. The system, they're definitely losing money on the digital edition. They have to be. $100 difference. So they're losing money on one of them. and you have to offset the cost of, so you have to do something. You can't just make, there's not going to be enough of an install base. If you look at the sales of these God of War, right? God of War sold what, 10 million, a little bit over that. Right? Or is
I think they sold more than 20 million of God of War.
More than 20 million?
Am I wrong? I thought they announced
Uncharted's the best.
So Insomniac just emailed me, and in their email it said that Spider-Man PS4 sold 17 million, and in the email it said second best selling PS4 exclusive. So I'm assuming that maybe it was around 10 million.
10 million.
So yeah, like I think Uncharted sold like 16 million or 17. Uncharted's up there. It's like Uncharted 4. So that's on 100 million install base. So if you're Sony and you're planning, you're like, okay, wait a minute. We sold this much on this install base. There's no way that you can get anywhere near that on an install base that's not going to be anywhere near as big in the first year. You have to mitigate that somehow. Yeah. You know, like it's too much of a risk.
Yeah, they're gonna split them. Like Ratchet and Clank makes sense for a PS5 exclusive because it shows off the SSD tech and all of that with the shifting between dimensions. And I mean, Gran Turismo is a game that they basically treat as a live service anyway because they keep adding more cars to it. So that'll be a project they keep around for the next probably the entire generation. Actually, Gran Turismo 7 might just be a generation game because I bet you eventually it finds its way to the next PlayStation VR as well. But yeah, Horizon PS4 game. I really do think that God of War game is going to be a PS4 game also.
I guess I have less of a problem with it. I guess my hope is that the PlayStation 5 version is prioritized. Like I feel like the Miles Morales that's on PS5 feels like the real version, air quotes. So as long as Final Fantasy is just PS5 and PC, I'm good with that. That's the one I like. If that was cross-gen, I'd be annoyed at that. Let's face it still looks like Final Fantasy 15, but I'll take it. It does.
It looks, in some regards, does Final Fantasy 15 look better? I don't know, probably not. But like, we
give that Final Fantasy 14 producer the benefit of the doubt, though, don't we, Max?
Yeah, Yoshi,
okay.
Yoshi P is God.
I was playing Final Fantasy 15 on my Xbox Series X backwards compatible. And holy, dude, it looks phenomenal.
It looks different. Amazing. Like, I just did the opening hour while I was playing it. Yeah, that's 60 FPS, no load times.
It just the game already looked spectacular when it launched, but the Royal Edition, they upgraded. They even made little improvements here and there throughout the long development and post development until they just shut everything down.
I just realized something. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is going to be coming to the Xbox game next year, right? Like in March or April.
It theoretically can.
Do you think Microsoft gets them to do a Series X patch with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're
I played it on PS5. I put it on. I played it on PS5 for an hour and a half. The first on hard, the difficulty, and it looks amazing on PS5 too. It looks great. It's the same game, but it looks dope on PS5 as well. So I mean, I can only imagine what they would do with Xbox, or with the PS5, an actual next gen patch. If they
that's what I'm thinking. I wonder if Microsoft is let's get that done. Let's get a next gen patch for it for the Series X. Take advantage of everything with it.
That would be nice.
That'd be pretty good. I'd actually think about buying it again for that.
So would I. Well, and also, especially what if they put that on the box, the true next gen version?
Sony wouldn't allow them to do they wouldn't allow it to be okay, we don't get that too on PS5, right?
Yeah, you have to give it to me too. I get one cookie, they get one cookie.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they would have to. Because it was a PlayStation exclusive for for that full year. Sony's so associated with with Final Fantasy. I don't think they would say, oh, the next gen is on there and you don't have it on PlayStation.
Max, what do you think of Demon's Souls so far?
It's fantastic. There are some interesting changes. I do think it's a little bit easier. The main thing is, because I beat Demon's Souls back in the day, I do think that this version is a lot easier in a myriad of aspects. But the biggest thing is that it plays like Dark Souls 3. It is very responsive. The rolls are very forgiving. It's one of those things where once you learn it, if you've beaten any Dark Souls, I bet you can beat Demon's Souls.
Sean, you said you picked it up, right? Demon's Souls? How's that going for you?
I wish I bought something else.
Yeah.
Too hard?
No, the game.
Just boring?
No, it's too hard. I'm not good at those games. And I get that it's supposed to be a little bit slow and clunky. And it's just when I'm playing it, it's wow, I want to go play Spider-Man some more. It looks great.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of Souls, the thing is, I've never been a fan of Souls games, so I don't know what compelled me to be yo, I need this shit on day one. I need to spend that $70
because
on day one.
Because it's the PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, and it's a potential bag for you, man.
Wait, hold on. You didn't get Sackboy? You should have bought Sackboy instead.
Oh, man.
I'm actually trying to find a physical copy of Sackboy right now because no one around me has it.
They had a bunch. I took a picture of it. I'm gonna put it in and tomorrow I'm doing a video about Godfall. The entire store was sold out of every PlayStation 5 game except Sackboy.
Apparently,
Godfall,
Sackboy is good. Like I've seen some people on Twitter say it's good.
It looks good.
So
It looks good. Looks like they took like the 3D World formula and said, "Hey, let's just open it up a bit."
There you go.
Yeah.
I assumed it would be bad. I assumed it would be just like a whatever.
That's what I want to pick up. Sean,
who made that one? Do you guys know who made?
Was that
Sumo Digital?
Sumo Digital, yeah. Sean, did you have that on fidelity mode or you have that on performance mode for Demon's Souls?
Performance.
Okay, good.
Performance.
Okay, good. Wait,
I switched it over to
performance, but you don't have Spider-Man on performance.
Piss off.
No, you got to put that on fidelity. That's what's messing you up right now, Sean.
No, I moved it over to fidelity because I wanted to see how it
looks
looked.
good.
And I was like, wow, this looks good. And then I started moving. I was like, oh, God, it's getting even clunkier. No, I fuck this.
You get your ass kicked on that. On the non-performance mode.
Right.
Oh, boy. That's great. I didn't try Bug Snacks yet. That's a part of PlayStation Plus. I did download it. I just haven't tried it yet.
What? That's game of the year.
I beat it. I feel like I'm the one person who kind of is mad. I beat it. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, it's super short and it's the whole, I don't like the writing. Every character is like a quirky character who gives you a speech about how quirky they are. Like, I'm the jazz musician who lives on the beach. Can you get me some sexy Bug Snacks? It's like, okay. Yeah. And every character is that way. It's, I don't know.
So did everyone just stop playing their Xbox
before I want to clarify one thing for the chat.
Boy.
It's not necessarily that Souls games are like super hard. It's that you have to be patient and you have to be methodical. I am not a patient and or methodical person if you haven't picked up on that yet. So it's like I could sit there and figure out the game mechanics. The Dark Souls game on the Switch, like I did pretty good in that because I ended up reviewing it and I played it for a while, so I got used to it. But it's just like I would rather play a faster paced game. And like somebody said, Ninja Gaiden is harder. Okay, I'd rather play Ninja Gaiden because that's more of my pace.
Putting time into something that you enjoy personally more. Like I get it. I'm not a big Souls fan either. So.
Did you play Sekiro, Sean?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And Sekiro's faster too. Yeah, I get it. I definitely think so. As somebody who's beaten every Dark Souls game, I'll definitely defend you, Sean, in that it takes. I always say it's the 10-hour thing of like if you play Souls for 10 hours, you get good at the pace, and then you can kind of speed run it. You realize, oh, I can skip this and here's shortcuts, but there is that 10 rough hours of getting used to it that most people don't get past.
And no, I still play my Xbox Series X because that's what I got NBA 2K21 on.
Oh, you did buy that game again.
Yep. And you know what? It's and I don't really regret it, honestly. First off, they've done a patch to fix the shots that work a little bit better, but I think it's not the same jump as when we went from Xbox to Xbox 360 with NBA 2K and graphics, because that's what we had at GameStop when I was working there. We had NBA 2K running on the Xbox and running on the Xbox 360 because we had 3 TVs set up. And so people would come in and be like, what the fuck is that? And be like, yo, this is the Xbox 360 version. And it was like mind blowing. Yeah,
because they had the sweat. They upgraded to sweat. Remember that?
Well,
like,
and
that
then moving shorts and stuff like that too. But with
the features, right?
With 2K21 on the Series X, you kind of have to look for it more, but like when you zoom in on a character model, it looks absolutely insane. Like individual hair follicles and shit. It's like ridiculous. So I think it's a good game. I'm enjoying it more so than the Switch version, probably because of the fact that they've fixed the shot mechanics to be a little bit more like the old ones now.
I mean, it's also 30 versus 60 frames.
It's also 30 versus 60.
That's kind of a big deal in a game with timing. So I get
why did I buy it? Because I'm a basketball fan. Like I can't help it,
I can help. I'm actually a huge basketball fan. I don't buy that shit.
I mean, I just wanted. Well, the main thing for me was I wanted a next gen game for my Xbox One or my Xbox Series X. I mean, and it was like this is a next generation version designed for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X in mind. Was not designed for the last generation of consoles. So that's why I went with that game.
Okay.
And I've also been playing Call of Duty on Series X as well.
You just got it, right? You just
I'm
got
not
it.
impressed.
Okay. You playing
Well,
multiplayer?
Yeah, I just play multiplayer.
Uh-huh.
I do like, what's that new mode where you have to like gather the uranium?
But this has ray tracing though.
Does it? Not in multiplayer?
It just has ray tracing. And
I think the ray tracing is only in single player because multiplayer.
Why are you doing that? That's where ray tracing is.
Because I don't want to play single player. I don't understand how people play Call of Duty single player.
What? Single player is fun.
I agree.
They have
Single player
digital
Call of Duty's trash.
I have not played a Call of Duty story since the original Modern Warfare.
Hold on. You don't like you're not having fun with the Call of Duty multiplayer, but you've been playing that free to play Call of Duty like game for a while, right?
There you go. One is a free to play game, one is a $70 game. And I actually got a review copy of Call of Duty that I did not even ask for. It just showed up and I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But
yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty. It's still a very similar formula in multiplayer.
That uranium mode, have you played that?
No, I
saw people playing it. It looked interesting.
So what it is like it's an open map, sort of like Warzone, but not quite as big. And basically you're in different teams and there's uranium stashes all across the map, and you have to get to these stashes and then cash the uranium in to get points. You can also get points by killing people, but it plays a lot like a squad style free-for-all game, because there's a lot of, you can get on a motorcycle, you can get in a tank, there's different things going on the map. It's actually really fun, and I like that mode a lot. The standard TDM and shit, it's standard TDM. You have the same stupid Call of Duty maps that you've had for the million years, or just reskins with your little narrow tunnel lead out to an open area. Oh, there's B, I gotta capture B. Yeah, but I think that mode is actually really fun.
Interesting. I'll check that mode out. So yeah, we just need Halo Infinite at this point on the Xbox.
Yeah.
True.
We need Halo Infinite.
Good luck with that.
Save us, Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
It's never coming.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say with Sean, the people that play 2K, that when I'm on my live stream, they all say that it's really good too. So, so yeah, to your point about the next gen 2K.
I did play more Assassin's Creed though. I did play more of that.
That's what I wish I got instead of Demon Souls, honestly.
You should go get Assassin. I think you would like Valhalla, Sean.
I think you would. The thing is, here's the weird thing about Assassin's Creed is I always sleep on the series and I'm always like, whatever. But then whenever I play it, I'm like, oh man, I really like this game.
This is interesting.
I love Assassin's Creed games, but
it takes a little while for it to get started. But when it does, and you get to your first settlement, and part of it is actually building up like your village or your town, and you gather resources and you build new buildings and you get more abilities and different items that way, and you bring people in and recruit them, and it ended up being a lot larger than I thought it would be when I first started playing, because it really takes like 5 or 6 hours just to get to that point.
I was just say, isn't it like 6 hours to get out of the prologue or something?
It takes a little while, yeah, but then it starts opening up,
man.
and there's a lot going on in this game, and it is one of those time sink games, Sean. But it looks good on the Xbox. The only problem I have right now is if you don't have the right TV with a variable refresh rate, that like they have like FreeSync and all this stuff. If you don't have a TV that can manage it, it will have pretty bad screen tearing at times, like to where it's very noticeable.
Those. Yeah, the pictures are insane.
Yeah,
speaking of really screen tearing on the Xbox Series X, how about that Bright Memory?
I didn't play it yet.
Dude, that's like a great cell phone game, man.
Did anyone play it besides me?
No, I didn't play it either.
So this was an $8 game. Okay, whatever.
Oh shit!
First and foremost, I believe that this was deceptive marketing, because I do video game stuff kind of all the time, if you didn't catch up on that. What? And I was under the impression that this was the fucking game that I saw during the Xbox Series X presentation, not some shit that's been out on PC forever. But even so, that's fine. Optimized for the Xbox Series X right then and there, awesome. And there's obscene amounts of pop-up. There is obscene amounts of
you shared it on Twitter. I saw that.
And people were like giving me shit about that, and I'm like, it was made by one guy. Motherfucker, Minecraft was made by one guy. I don't see pop-up like that. Axiom Verge was made by one guy. That's not an excuse for a game to be optimized for the Xbox Series X and look like shit. But beyond that, I think the combat is interesting, because it's kind of like gunplay mixed with hack and slash, which works, but it's very glitchy. It's $8, and I beat it in 37 minutes.
Whoa.
Oh my god!
Dude, you're
what?
speed running. Sean speed running now.
I did not speed run. That was literally
world
just,
record.
that was just me playing the game.
Which con speedrun? The new speedrunner right here. Let's go.
Dude,
Awesome game's done quick. Let's
I
go,
kind of,
Sean.
I kind of want to look up. I kind of want to like see a video of someone be like full game, because people upload it and it'll be like bright infinite memory, whatever the hell, full game cutscene. It's just gonna be probably 20 minutes if they run for everything. It's pretty funny.
So those
Somebody
developers
just
are
asked
making
about load times on NBA 2K21 next gen. 0. At least when I play,
there's not,
at least when you play an actual game, you choose your team, bam, you're on the court, like like that.
Yeah, there's videos on Twitter about it, and it's like they'll compare it to like last gen now, because we're in the current gen as Xbox Series X and everything. And it's
the load screen just looks like a video stinger. It's just like NBA, and then it just goes away, and you're just in.
yeah, it's very quick. So it is cool to see all of this already, because I think all of that will be further optimized as we go into this generation, where we probably won't even have any of those. Like they'll be put in just so it's not so jarring when you get to the game.
I think to your point though, John, what I was saying with the whole, you said like the variable refresh rate, like having the TVs that support that, I think is really important with some of these games, right? You get a much better experience with that, that variable refresh rate, so everything plays a lot smoother, or certain games will play smoother. So I think it's like a combo deal, guys. Like it's cool to have all this stuff, but man, like when you have the TV, it really does make that difference. So I know these TVs are expensive, but
you can also go the route for if you're cramped for space or anything, you also go the route of a nicer monitor, because the Xbox Series X does support like 1440p and all of that. So, and that is the big feature that the Series X has, is that variable refresh rate over like the PlayStation 5 right now. So that's something that you'd want to look into for Assassin's Creed, because I was noticing screen tearing, then I hooked it up to my monitor. It has variable refresh rate and all of that, and it went away. So it was much better that way.
I'll watch your TV doesn't have variable refresh rate?
This Sony does not. This OLED doesn't. I don't think it does.
I'm supposed to buy. That's what I'm supposed to spend $1 million on.
No, I told you to buy. I told you to buy an LG.
No, you want the
CX.
LG CX.
Oh, okay.
You want the
That's
LG
the one
CX.
that I got.
I have an LG CX also. I have both.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not playing it on.
So I have the Sony A9G that I'll play on. Okay, I play on this one, and then for the office, I have the LG CX coming in.
Okay. Oh, you have it coming in. Okay, so you bought it. Okay, so it's coming in.
Okay, yeah, but then I have two monitors, one 4K, one 1440p that has like FreeSync and variable refresh rate, all that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I did notice it because I went from one to the other, and I was like, yeah, Assassin's Creed needs this.
$2,000.
And it's weird because I don't think you should like have a game set up with screen tearing and then be like, oh, it's cool, just use VRR. It'll fix it. It's like, well, hold on.
Yeah, that's true.
The game shouldn't just shouldn't have that issue. What are you talking about?
Do you see Shinobi? Shinobi on Twitter, he's like one of the biggest fans I've ever seen for Mass Effect and for the Assassin's Creed games. So every year for the last 3 years, he'll do like 2 weeks of like photo mode expose, exploring the areas. And today officially he said, like, I just can't play Valhalla. Like it needs so many patches. It's just so jittery. He's like, it's straight up taking me out of the experience. So
no,
not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying I'm taking a break.
The A9G is more for like movies, streaming, and all of that. I mean, it has game mode and it looks it has better HDR than like the CX, but the CX for gaming is like that's the one you want to get. You can even get technically a 48-inch, Sean, but I just go with 55 and call it a day.
Come on, I'm not gonna half-ass it.
I mean, but the thing is,
this isn't like everything else I do in life. This is costing money.
The LG, well, the CX, if you get that, like I said, you wouldn't have to upgrade probably for the rest of the generation. But the next time you upgrade, we'll be talking about 8K. So,
and it has a Wii remote pointer with the
see. See,
there's a pointer. You just point and you click. It's really cool. I like that.
If you get the sound bar with it, I have a sound bar.
You get a free LG Boom with the purchase of the TV.
Oh, that's cool.
How does it sound?
Well, it supports.
Wait, is it free because you got it off the fallen truck, or
it was in the box next to it?
Yeah, promotion that they're doing.
Truck.
But they have what's it called? Like the TV supports like the Dolby sound, like the new Dolby Atmos or whatever. So it sounds amazing even without it.
Oh, okay.
and it supports like, the Dolby Vision TV, Dolby, like, it supports all that crap. So it's super sleek. And like if you look at like how much OLEDs were before, dude, OLEDs were so expensive, 2 years ago or whatever, even like last year. Like they're way more affordable now. And like with Vizio getting into the game, it's even going to make prices go down even more. So
I'm going to wait for the Vizio version because so honestly, this monitor that I edit my videos on right here, I got this out of a dumpster. It is 720p. I've been using it for 6 years.
Max.
So I've been waiting.
Y'all say I'm a cheap fucker.
Max's
hell.
YouTube channel sounds less like an adventure and more of just like a challenge. Like he's just like, how can I challenge myself?
This is my hard mode speed
iPhone dumpster monitor.
I know. Yeah,
I
I still use this phone. This doesn't even have a model number. My phone is so janky; it doesn't even have a name.
Oh my gosh!
And of course,
that's what's great about you.
We will replace this.
200,000 subscribers coming up on freaking ghetto ass equipment.
Hey,
ghetto. That's dope, dude.
It's an accident. I promise. It's that I'm dumb. This is not bragging. This is me dumb.
He's got a Dookie monitor. He's got.
It ain't about what you got. It's about how you use it.
It's about how you use it exactly. So
let's face it. The only reason I have this this is like the best microphone you can get. Like a bunch of us who use in the Audio Technica. Shamsa bought this. Shamsa. Or else I'd still be using a super crappy one.
Did anyone else play any more games on their PS5 or their Series X before we move over? I
played the next gen update for Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah, how'd that turn out?
I heard it's good.
Really, really good on an OLED. It's just smooth. It feels like you would play like if you had the decked out PC and everything. It's really good. I do like it. On my Xbox Series X, I was playing it. Supports HDR, supports the frame rate super high. I really do enjoy it. Like the combat's really fun. It's still the same Borderlands that you know and love, right? But they add in a couple wrinkles here and there. You're still just shooting a bunch of people, but it's a lot of fun just to get a bunch of different types of guns, right? Like I was there from the original Borderlands, when that first launched. I bought it day one back in 2009 when I was in college. So I've always been with the series, and this one just kind of takes everything that they've done and made it even better. And like the 4K patch, it's pretty large. I mean, I think it's not like 100 plus gigabytes, but it's a nice patch that takes a little bit of time to download. But after you get it downloaded and installed, it looks great on the TV, man. I did enjoy it. And I put like 5 or 6 hours into it already. So I've been playing it just on my free time, and I do like the game. It's a lot of fun. And it's a lot more smooth than what I saw with Borderlands on the Xbox One or on the PS4, because the game was optimized for the Xbox One X to look pretty good. So it doesn't look like way better than what you'd see there, but the frame rate along with the 4K with the OLED makes it even it's perfect for it. So I'm enjoying that. Nice. And the PS5 version does support the haptic feedback, the triggers and stuff. So if you want to go with the PS5 version, it does support that.
So what's the next game we're looking forward to for these systems? Is it Cyberpunk?
I guess
Cyberpunk,
so.
yeah.
I also tried out the God of War.
The 60 frames?
The 60 frames.
That's just locked at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much better.
Beautiful.
In my opinion, I actually really am enjoying the game a bit more with that 60
I might have to fire that game up on this OLED.
I got through the first boss battle with it, and I'm gonna play some more probably later tonight. Maybe I'm gonna play some Borderlands and play some of that more. And it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I mean, it's still the performance mode. The graphics obviously aren't as impressive as maybe what you thought it was when you play it on the performance mode on there, but it still looks really good. Like the character models are still just the environment stuff, but on like a big TV. But it's still amazing though. It's still really good. I kind of want to check out.
I kind of want to check out Infamous.
Yeah, I've been going back
on the OLED.
Yeah, I've been going back and playing a lot of the backwards compatible games.
Yeah, I might download some of these.
Yeah, like try out the back, and I think that's another thing that makes this generation it's just so much better, because we didn't have that in the last generation, right? They didn't have the backwards compatibility at the beginning, like it was
from the PS3, right?
Yeah,
right.
And the Xbox One, it wasn't all supported day one, was it? It was like janky, wasn't it?
They had some, I think, like some of the Halo games and stuff. It was, it wasn't 100% like that. Nothing like it is now.
And this is just you pop in Final Fantasy, you pop in everything just works. It brute forces it to work better. You don't got to worry about too much. So that to me is also another reason why this generation, I'm enjoying this generation, because you guys know me, I'm a backlog king. So I'm like, yo, I didn't even buy any next gen games. I didn't even buy any two next gen games. I just been playing all the stuff that I've got, you know. So
I did download whatchamacallit, Days Gone, because I think that got a 60 frame.
That's 60 frames
I
now.
want to play that now.
Yeah, I've never played it, so it was on the PlayStation Plus collection. So I was like, hey, what the heck?
How is it?
I haven't started it yet.
Oh, you haven't started. Okay, yeah.
It's a long game.
It's $20 for Black Friday deals, so I think I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, it's a long game.
I beat The Pathless. The developers randomly sent it to me, and I liked Abzu, and I was like, all right, yeah, they seems cool. It is really cool. It is definitely it is almost a tech demo style indie game. You're like, it's very silent. You're running around as like this hunter in this big, gorgeous, like corrupted woods. The only enemies are basically the mega bosses, and you basically just go around and cleanse towers and fly around. But it's interesting on PlayStation 5 because it seems like it's running 4K consistently, 60 frames a second consistently, and it's kind of cel shading, so it's not like it's like super photorealism, but just the solid state. Like I was fighting a boss, and he uppercutted me, and it knocked me out of the top of this tower, and I fell down to the ground. And normally they would hide a load screen there by your character like slowly getting up and dusting themselves off. None of that. I hit the ground, immediately jumped back up, got an elevator, went right back up and fought him. Just super like really cool.
OJ, Days Gone is on the PlayStation Plus collection.
I don't buy the online for either system.
What a weirdo.
The silence was real.
Online.
The silence was so real there.
I can understand that. I'd rather own it.
Yeah, I mean, personally, me, I rather have the physical games. I like collecting games, and I don't pay for PS Plus because I don't want to play with anybody online on PlayStation or on Xbox. So, I mean, if I'm gonna play something like a shooter, I'll just play on PC, or I'll just if I'm gonna do that, I'll just get it on there or whatever. So I don't really play multiplayer games like that. I don't want to play with anybody on Borderlands.
Days Gone's been on Black Friday deal like $20, I think, for the past 2 years now. Because I think I got it 2 years ago, or like the year it came out, it went to Black Friday like super fast. I remember because it came out in April, and I think the Black Friday 7 or 8 months later, it was like $30. I think I had like a $5 off, so I got it for $25 the year it came out.
Because it's a bad game.
Cool.
I mean, it is kind of padded.
I don't like it. I know I'm like the one person. I did not care for that game.
No, I think a lot of people didn't like it. Yeah,
there's lots of people that didn't like the game too. You're not the only one.
It got a very mediocre Metacritic.
Yeah,
I mean, just you spend so much time just tuning up your motorcycle and be like, I gotta avoid the hordes. Oh, so I don't know.
Let me go over to how many Discord questions do we have, Evan? Just like
we have a bunch. We've covered like one so far, technically. But...
Okay, cool. Well, I'll go over to Streamlabs and Super Chats before we talk about Nintendo's sales here. Liam says, do you think we will ever see a Sony character in Smash? Not necessarily Ultimate, but just the Smash series in general. We already have 2 Microsoft reps, and it doesn't look like PlayStation All-Stars 2 is happening anytime soon. What's the word on that, OJ? You think we'll get a Sony rep at any time?
Maybe sometime in the distant future. Yeah, but anytime with like Ultimate, no.
Who do you think they put in from Sony?
Ratchet and Clank.
Spyro.
Ratchet. Okay.
I'd vote Spyro or Crash. Well, I guess Crash isn't Sony. I'm stupid.
Not really Sony. Yeah.
Yeah, it would. I'm if they
Ratchet
did a character,
makes sense.
it would have to be Ratchet.
You're right.
Let's give it to Astro.
Astro. I think Sony would probably, or Nintendo would probably want Astro.
Sackboy.
Hey, you know, it could be
Like
you know what?
Sackboy, yeah.
You know what? I think Astro deserves his own real big game, not one that's tied to VR or any of that, because Astro's Playroom is way better than I thought it would be.
Well,
so
Astrobot Rescue, yeah, that was a VR game, but that's legit. Like
it is very good.
People were saying that was the Nintendo 64 VR.
People are putting some misinformation in the chat, guys. Okay, listen. Joker is not a Sony character. Okay, Joker, that's Sega. Sega owns, or that's Atlas, and Atlas is owned by Sega. That is a third-party character. That is not a Sony character.
Listen, chat knows everything, man.
Hey, if anything,
I'm just saying, like, people are putting misinformation. Like, so Joker's not a Sony character.
If anything, Joker might end up being a Microsoft character. All right, so.
Oh, don't say that. I know, but I don't know.
Let me go over. So we think it's either gonna be Astro or Ratchet would be the most probably the best chance. Sackboy, Sly Cooper.
I don't think
would
Sony
like
would
that.
pick it because I think they think Sly's kind of dead. They would want somebody relevant, right?
Relevant.
But what if
Yeah.
Sly goes into Smash, then all of a sudden a new Sly Cooper game gets announced right away?
I mean,
so
that
it's
could
got
work
both those
too.
marketing.
Yeah,
With another
in a
movie
way.
to follow it up, it'd be good.
But I mean, did you guys see what happened with like how Steve, like Nintendo had been wanting Steve forever because popularity, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time. They said, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Fortnite default skin's getting in.
I think that's why I said when people ask like, "Hey, could Fortnite character get it?" I said, "Yes, of course a Fortnite character can get it." Anybody super popular or either extremely nostalgic to where people ask for it. Like Banjo, that's because super nostalgic people have been asking him, asking for him forever. Not that he's relevant anymore because he's not, but he's relevant with Nintendo fans with the old school, So it has to be some type of.
So it's just a matter. You say it's just a matter of time before Franklin gets in then.
Who?
From GTA 5.
Oh, I thought you meant the turtle from.
No, dude. Hey,
It's
GTA 5.
Franklin.
GTA 5 super popular, right?
Right?
Yeah, but it's GTA.
It's sold like 100 million some odd copies, right?
I'd rather have Kratos than.
I mean, Joker has a gun, right?
It's not real.
Solid
but
Snake.
He has a gun.
Solid Snake.
Snake, yeah.
True.
He's
He's
got
got
a
a
fucking-
landmine rocket.
He's got rockets.
He has a rocket and he blows you up with it too. And he has Nikita and it freaking follows you around the screen and it's annoying as hell.
Oh. RGT Krusty Foot says, no question here. But imagine seeing me in
Raptor Claw.
4K. Love the show. Love from Sean's side.
That's a fantastic. That is a super chat. Thank you.
Idol says, Cold War looks amazing on the Series X, but I played a couple hours of campaign, left it changed to 120 frames per second, and I didn't save any of it. Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah. And then Pico donated $200, but no message. Pico.
That's the
No.
Pico.
Yeah, no message though, Pico.
Merry Christmas to you too, Pico.
Jesus.
Thank you, Pico. But if you meant to type a message, you can type it in the chat here, and I'm sure Evan or someone can spot it here.
Maybe.
Pico, if you just want to buy me a chair, brother, I'll tell you what my PayPal is. It's all
You
right.
do appreciate it, Pico. That's very generous. I do appreciate that. And then I think that's everything. And then Shamsa donated $100. Shamsa.
Shout outs to
And then
Sean.
again, do appreciate
Like
it,
always.
Shamsa. Like always. No message though, but appreciate it, Shamsa, definitely.
She's just trying to get her breakfast, bro. She's like here.
Big shout out to Pico and Shamsa. Let's go over to the Nintendo sales because Nintendo actually shared information for October MT. Why do you guys think they shared this, by the way, this week?
What
What do you think it was? What happened this week that they'd be like, hey, let's just tell people how well we did in October for the MPD. So apparently this is the best. This is the best that, like, in general for the MPDs, right? Not just Nintendo. It's just like overall the best that a system has sold in the month of October. And they had to go all the way back to, I believe it was 2008 with the Wii.
Yeah, the
For-
Wii.
Do you guys remember 2008 with the Wii? That was so wild to see how out there it was just to find one. Because I remember at GameStop at the time when I was working there, we would answer the phone just immediately saying our welcome message was that we didn't have any Wiis.
Yes, I remember that.
Because everyone would call. We'd get like 100 some odd calls a day just about the Wii. And we're hearing that the Switch is almost selling as well as that. I mean, what kind of holiday do you think it's going to have with the PS5 and the Series X being out?
Huge, because you can't get a PS5 or
Yeah,
a
you
Series
can't-
X.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
And there's not you can't go to a store and get them. They've said that all these pre-orders are from Amazon are getting delayed, and all these. Oh, you might get it by the end of the year if you're lucky. Like Nintendo's gonna fucking.
Dude, y'all
clean
seriously?
up this
Somebody
year.
sent me a news article that said that somebody hijacked a truck that had 1,000 some odd PS5s on it. Like,
I mean,
people are pulling off heists now to get PS5s.
That happened with Call of Duty Modern Warfare Ghost. Some people there was a shipment truck, and it was a big viral story at the time. A shipment truck was driving down the street. These dudes came out in gas masks and tear gassed the truck, and the dudes had to stop, and they opened up the back and stole a bunch of copies of the game. And people were like, "Okay, buddy." Too far.
What happened with Switch 2? There was like one of the trucks got stolen or something like that before the launch. So yeah,
What the heck,
that was using a thing back with the
It's just a
PS2. Like
game.
there were pictures for PS2 of people who had like multiple boxes because they were the truck drivers that dropped a few boxes.
Well, I
and
mean,
their
if you
family had
if you
some
think about it,
PS2s.
those PS5s are up on eBay for like $1,500 now. So
Yeah.
they're thinking, wow, we grab these, we can.
Did you see a viral tweet where the guy was he
the
tweeted
guy
out-
got
he had,
DDoS?
he had like
Perfect.
800. He got
Who's that
doxxed.
guy?
He tweeted a picture of like 800 of them, and it said like "Stay mad, $1,000 a console," and so it
He
said
didn't
"Stay
say-
mad"
he
and
didn't
put his
say stay
address.
mad. He didn't say
Oh, I
stay
can't
mad.
remember. He said some stupid cuss word or something. But yeah,
It's it is weird because this holiday the only system is going to be in stores, I guess, is the Switch. Because Best Buy said that they're not going to carry the PS5 in store this whole holiday.
Yep.
And I went to Best Buy today looking for some PS5 stuff. They didn't have any PS5 stuff, but they had like a whole stack of Switch lights. I didn't see any Switch like regular Switches there, but they had a whole stack of Switch lights.
Yeah,
two different variants.
The regular Switch is starting to even like the Switch Lite it's obviously for secondary, but people are really just starting to like they want that regular Switch. You know, like that's the big selling thing. So I think this upcoming holiday, with Hyrule Warriors and then also Animal Crossing, those are the two games. I think Animal Crossing is even going to move. It's going to help even push things even further. I would see them selling almost 1 million systems. In November. I think it's definitely possible. They sold almost 735,000 for October, so I can see them selling upward of this year if the stock's all there and everything.
That's my big question if it stays if it stays in stock. We think, Nate, it's big news from Nintendo in a week with 2 other systems launching, 3 technically with their Game & Watch.
Yeah, I mean, they had a strong October, and it's been weird because the biggest criticism against Nintendo this year has been that they haven't really released software, but it doesn't matter. They continue to sell hardware, mostly because of the evergreen library of software that they've built over the years. So they will have a strong holiday. They should lead in hardware sales in November and December very easily because, as already been mentioned, PS5 and Xbox are going to have supply problems. So it's really just a matter of supply, and Nintendo's going to have the supply. Whether they match the Wii holidays, we'll see. I mean, based on Nintendo's own fiscal reporting, they're only expecting another 12 million systems to be sold this fiscal year. Last quarter 3, I think they sold about 10 to 11 million. So either they're anticipating a large drop off for Q4, or that 24 figure is just them lowballing it and they know they're going to exceed it. But they should easily sell 1.2, 1.3 million in November, maybe more. And then December is usually a bigger month for them. Maybe that's the month we see 2.5. Maybe they flirt with 3.
Well, they can up it with their next report, right? They can up the once again, especially if they see a good holiday, and then they're going to start thinking about maybe announcing that revision.
They could up it, but I mean, any talk of any revision won't come until March at the absolute earliest.
Yeah.
Well, when would be their next reporting? Is it at the end of January?
I think it's late January when they would report
February,
quarter. Yeah, it's like the first week of February or so when they will report the quarter 3 results, which would be October, November, December. So they wouldn't have any revision talk there. It would just be, we shipped 12 million units in the third quarter.
Well,
Blah,
if they
blah, blah.
start production of the revision, as soon as they start doing that, that's when like stuff will start getting out. Like things will leak out about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
so if they see
launch,
stuff leak out, they might be like, oh, maybe we should start talking about this thing.
If things leak out, then they'll start talking. But if nothing's been said so far about any production, it means the system's not launching anytime soon. It's not launching in the next 3 to 4 months, because the Lite had leaks dating back to around April for a September launch.
Yes, we had that whole shell. Remember, somebody took a picture of the back of it, put it online. No one believed it, and it was the actual backing for the Switch Lite, which is really funny.
I still save that picture, that exact picture, because it's funny to look back and be like, that was a damn Switch Lite right there.
Yeah. and I mean, the same thing happened for the PS5. So as soon as it starts going to production on the assembly line, someone's snapping a picture with their cell phone and they're posting it, and then no one will believe it.
Or like the Resident Evil movie, everybody's taking pictures of the Resident Evil movie like crazy because they're just like, look at this movie.
But I think it'll I think it'll leak out once it goes to production. So until then, they probably won't start really talking about it.
I mean, it probably won't be for a while. I don't.
We still thinking April or May?
unknown.
April or May for this thing? I'm thinking May.
Absolute earliest would be April, but we could still be looking at maybe a September type repeat of what they did with the version 2 and the Lite. It's just a matter of timing of when it's introduced in 2021.
Okay, yeah, because that would definitely affect their overall sales for this fiscal year. And if they're not going to up it or change it, yeah, maybe that revision isn't till next fiscal year then for them to announce it.
Yeah, it seems most likely at this point.
Yeah, so it'll cause a pretty big drop off. Yeah, so Switch gonna pass the Wii. Everyone kind of figures that now, right?
Yeah, that's easily.
Sales would have to fall off completely for them not to pass it. Like it'd have to be like something drastic happened, People would get fired.
So here's the better question. Here's the better question. Here's a better question. Is November going to be the month that the Switch's streak is finally broken? Because they have 23 in a row in the MPD.
No. There's no supply for the other two systems. Okay. So if the Switch can't outsell the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, then it means Nintendo had their own supply issue, which shouldn't be the case.
All right. So we're thinking November. Nintendo will continue in November. Then, so you're thinking
that's going to continue till spring, I think, easily.
Okay.
It could extend beyond spring. I mean, Nintendo could. It should hit close to 30 months because there's really nothing that's coming out that's going to shift tons of PS5s and Xbox Series X's, and we still know supply problems are going to be ongoing for those two platforms. And early next year, unless that's where software really starts ramping up for even the PlayStation 5, outside of that launch window, things start to slow down. And Nintendo, we know they have games. They have Mario coming out in February. Yeah, they just have that nice slow pacing, and inevitably we'll probably get Animal Crossing DLC to re-spark some interest in the game.
All Sony really needs to do is stop making PS4s, get the marketing for Call of Duty, and then they'll just sell a bunch of PS5s.
Yeah. I mean, I got a war.
Well, any PS5 that goes into a store, it's being copped,
Yeah, it's being sold.
They're going to sell them as fast as they can make them.
It really comes down to how many PS5s did they ship to the US? Did they ship 1 million?
Yeah, they had to have, because the PS4 sold 1 million. Wait a minute, no, was that worldwide? That was worldwide.
That was worldwide.
Yeah,
but they said
worldwide.
that
My bad.
But they said they kicked stock up pretty heavily for the PS5 launch compared to the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, did you see what Microsoft said about their launch?
Apparently, it was the biggest they've done, but that's the first time they've done a worldwide launch ever, I think, right? Because the Xbox One didn't go to Japan until 10 months later or something crazy when it came out. So apparently, it was the first time they've tried to do a very large, mostly worldwide launch.
I've also said this before in a couple of videos. I just feel like there's more gamers now. I feel like there's more self-identified hardcore gamers. So there's more people who are wanting to buy hardware day one. So yeah, you sold all your Xboxes. Of course you did.
Yeah. So that'll be the most interesting thing is how many PS5s Sony ship. Because if they shipped 1 million to the US and they sold them all, that might get them the MPD for the month. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Do we have Discord questions, Evan? Do we want to start going through those now? We also have super chats to go through here.
We can start doing that.
And then I am going to finish up with one topic that's going to be really funny. All right, because we have OJ here for it, so we're going to go over it.
All right.
Oh, baby.
I'll save that for the end though, and see what OJ thinks about it.
This is clickbait. You're baiting the audience.
It'll be funny.
Topic? What the fuck is it?
It'll be funny. No, it has to do with Sega.
My favorite company.
All right, so we got Metal Gear question of the week. Can anyone think of any cool ways to utilize the DualSense controller in stealth games?
Yeah, when you're crawling.
Oh yeah.
Well, in stealth games, it could be that. I also like the idea of LA Noire kinda, where we have interrogation sequences, and the DualSense rumble kind of is the person's heartbeat that you're interrogating. See, something like that. I like that idea.
I can think of something of like in Metal Gear Solid 3 specifically, you're gently discouraged from killing people. You're supposed to trank everybody. So maybe they could do something where if you're choking people out in Metal Gear,
It starts getting harder to pull in.
Yeah.
But then if you go all the way, you just kill them.
Exactly.
Dark.
So you have to actually consciously make the decision to snap a motherfucker's neck.
Yeah, because they have that thing with the adaptive trigger where it's halfway down press. You can press harder and it'll just and it actually makes a noise too, like it cracks.
It snaps. Yeah,
it does. It makes that noise. They can use the speaker to kind of blast like a cracking noise at you too when you do it.
Do the classic as they die.
Dude, I you know what, Nate? I hope that Silent Hill game is real, because what they could do with the DualSense would be absolutely like mind blowing.
Imagine like the ghost.
No reason to hope.
No reason to hope. What's that mean, Nate? What's that mean?
You don't have to hope for things that will happen.
Wait a minute, the Video Game Awards coming up.
True.
Yeah,
Nate, what are you trying to say here, Nate?
Isn't there already some random ass rumor that Konami is going to show Silent Hill, despite the Silent Hill is a licensed game to Sony that Sony's making, so Konami would actually have nothing to do with it?
Wait a minute, are you saying that Silent Hill and the Initiatives project is going to be there all at the same time?
No, I am
One
not.
in the same thing.
I have not.
Wait,
even
did you
implied
just
such a
say
thing.
did you say
No.
Prime 9? What?
This is an eternal hell.
Metroid Prime 4 is going to have its re-debut there?
Yeah, none of us can
Metroid Prime
escape this
4.
hell.
I
I
don't
said
know.
that 2 years ago.
There's a good
Metroid
chance
Prime
that something
4?
I just said will be there. There you go.
Yeah, one of
Probably
a bunch
won't
of
be a
stuff and then-
single one.
You say a bunch of stuff, then one of them happens to be like, see,
So-
told
Yeah, I
you.
told you.
And then you
See, I
delete
told
all the
you.
other tweets, and you're like, look at my perfect track record.
That's how it's done.
I'm
That's
getting
good
some
business.
Omega internet wonk right now.
Oh no.
Fucking hate Comcast, man.
You have the good internet soon.
Yep. Room's almost done.
Woo.
This is so weird. Oh, sorry.
It's it's just at
in the
0.
chat.
No one will hear it.
Oh, good. Well, while we're out there, I was going to say, it is so stupid that Godfall requires an internet connection. This is the most single-player
Really?
game ever.
Yeah.
If I unplug my PS5, this game will shut itself off, and it's the most single-player game ever. It's so stupid.
I think
Why
we're
don't you
back.
We're coming
Let's
back.
get
We're
them to send you a
coming.
review code.
Kind of. It's
So that's everything at the Game Awards this year. I just shared the entire lineup. I hope everyone listening doesn't
Wow, that
share
was
it on
great.
Reddit.
Hey, really-
Mine is
not. It's
blown.
back down. Like, god damn it, Comcast.
Nate really just told us everything that was at the Game Awards. That's crazy.
Direct eye
Lot of-
contact, he said.
Rockstar
name,
is really
date,
going to be
birth-
doing that, huh, Nate? I can't believe Rockstar is really.
Them
Wow.
and those other companies I mentioned.
Wow.
They're making an entire game about hot coffee called Bareback. That's pretty bold. I mean,
Yes.
Konami came in and shut the stream down.
Basically. I mean, you see my
boy.
camera moving though, right? Like I'm moving around. You
yeah,
see-
you're
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine.
Is the fucking server just having a problem? Is it?
I see you.
You want to do a
YouTube-
speed test? Maybe your
YouTube
upload?
crashed the other day. Here, I'm gonna look and see if there's people
Or
that
test
are
your
streaming.
upload.
Yeah, let's test YouTube.
I'm gonna see if another streamer is live right now. I'm looking at
Hey.
Mandy.
I'm watching video. I've been listening to music the whole time, and it's been fine.
Mm.
It might be coming.
Yeah,
back.
Mandy's fine.
Jack Move Johnny is playing as Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Looks like we're coming back. This might be a restream problem.
It could be.
Because we're broadcasting to all 9 servers.
Oh no, I'm definitely only getting like a 1 megabyte upload right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Are
literally
we back now?
No, not really.
I'm gonna get an E-Win chair. I just replied to him. I searched in my email
Then
gaming
we're kind of
chair.
back.
Yeah, we're
So-
kind of
Matching
back.
chair with us.
So,
I know. Oh yeah, and I see
John
spawns.
and I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody.
You win.
They actually
Everybody.
have a really nice one I've been looking at getting. It's like a cloth,
we're
but it's
gone.
gray and black.
DX Racer.
That sounds
baby.
good.
And we're back.
I want to see if I can get him in purple. I'm obsessed with purple.
Oh, yeah.
It's giant gaming throne.
what's
I don't
your
even
favorite
mind
shop?
this. I
Do you
don't
have, like, a
mind this metal chair. I use a workbench actually. So it's
Contact
a giant.
them.
It's a giant wooden workbench. I like it.
Oh, you do like it? Okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
well,
they have
it's
some
huge.
cool-
It's a giant flat thing, you know. I
Yeah.
I kind of like that.